The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Cities 92.9, its staff, management, or advertisers.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299.
And real quick, right before Ty keeps going, we do want to let you guys know there is a tornado watch in the city's 92.9 listening area until 8 p.m. Please be safe out there and check out our social media and keep listening for continuous weather updates. Be safe. Tornado watch until 8 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Getting ready to go into the next month and just now getting some real warm weather. It's times like this I miss Florida. Speaking of Florida, I know you guys just heard Kev laying it down. If you were listening to the last show, speechless. Had Mr. Bloomshine in here, throwing some left and right blows in here as well, along with Kev. But what I was talking about with Florida is Disney trying to go woke, and it failed. It completely failed. And there are some people that's really trying to get in on this right now. There are some people that are excited right now, and we already have a caller on the line. And we're getting ready to address that caller. We ain't even got the show started yet, and we got people calling. Caller, you on Cities 92.9?
We ain't got the show started yet, and we got people calling. Caller, you on Cities 92.9?
Turn your radio down for me, caller.
Let me turn my volume on.
Turn your radio down.
Gotcha.
There we go.
This is Steve Seiss in Franklin, North Carolina. I'm listening to you on YouTube, Ty.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I love you, bro. Listen, I'm worried about all of the fires that are going on in these food plants, and they only seem to happen Thursdays and Wednesdays. What's going on there? Do you have any idea?
I actually had a few people that sent me some things in on that literally yesterday. And I'm not going to jump ahead and try to, because, if you say anything that you might be speculating or that you might be opinionated on, they might try to label you a conspiracy theorist. But from what I see here is, which I don't care what they label me. I mean, I've been labeled all kinds of stuff since I was a kid. But but what I see going on and what I'm thinking here is that, 1 minute we seeing that Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland and everything. And then all of a sudden, strangely, these food processing plants are all just seem to be burning up.
Yep.
So I'm not going to throw it fully out there yet, but I just see something strange here where Bill Gates is wanting everybody to go completely vegan, not eating any animals or anything like that. But then these processing plants that do process certain meats and things like that, they seem to be going up in smoke, strangely.
Strangely, yeah. But it comes to the point where enough correlation is sufficient to prove causation. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your audience, Ty, and I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
All right, appreciate you calling in. There you go, guys. Shout out to the caller calling all the way from North Carolina. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but yeah, that is a strange thing that seems to be it's going to make its way around the internet. And trust me, it might be something that's going to blow up pretty soon with these processing plants all seem to strangely burn up. So back to what I was saying, folks. We heard about what was going on in Disney and the United States of Florida. Yes, you heard me call it that. It's the United States of Florida is out here being one of the biggest leaders to the United States of America and what they're doing. What are they doing? They are 100% behind protecting their children. Yes, Disney tried to go woke. I played a clip some time ago with the Disney CEO getting on here and, I'm sorry we haven't been hearing you, alphabet community, the LGBTQIA. That's what I call them, the LGBTQIA. The LGBTQIA, LGBTQIA. We haven't been hearing you. We haven't been listening. And now we're going to listen. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And now they're trying to get on top of this whole woke agenda, which is pretty much trying to pervert your children. And Ron DeSantis stepped right in, said, heck no. If you guys want to do this, then here's what I'm going to do. So, of course, you guys know they got hit now that they let the bill pass to where Florida's going to have to be paying more than in excess of $200 million a year in taxes. Yeah, every year, $200 million in property taxes is what they're going to have to pay. And on top of that, just to see how people in America are fed up with 1% or less of these certain type of individuals trying to run the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, if 1% of all is a certain lifestyle, that's letting you know that 99% of everybody else is not of that lifestyle. Do 99% of everybody else hate the 1%? I don't know. But a lot of people don't. The point is, you can't take 1% and try to make it like it actually is the main dominant thing that's going on right now. And don't fall for all the shenanigans they got going on, because they putting it in movies, they putting it in cartoons, they are putting it everywhere because they want you to think that it's normal and it's going on everywhere. Now, I'm not talking about that lifestyle being normal, which, and this is my opinion, I don't think it is. But my point in saying all that is that they want to make it seem like that out in society, out in your world, out where you're going out and about, they want to make it seem like that is completely a normal thing that you're going to see everywhere. So that's why they're trying to put it in movies. But it is not so. And it's been proven here. Florida is being a huge leader right now in protecting children. And I have no idea why a lot of states seem not to follow. How is it y'all need to think about this really clear. Anybody that is trying to push this bill to want to push sexuality on children, what in the living world is wrong with you? What is seriously wrong with you? You really think that these little kids, personally, I don't think nobody should be doing anything like that unless you hit past puberty. I mean, to me, you need to be talking about subjects that's dealing with a person's natural development. What do you mean natural development? I'll tell you what I mean by natural development. Natural development is what I'm talking about when a girl first have her menstrual cycle. Oh, I'm sorry, she's probably not even a girl no more. She's just a blood bleeding person. I'm talking about things like that. If I had a daughter and she passed that point, my wife would definitely be the one to talk to my daughter about this is why that is happening. But it doesn't have to mean you got to involve, oh, now you're ready to start having sex. No, it has everything to do with what that body change just happened to her. If my sons, hey, Dad, I don't know what's going on, but something came out of me that didn't look like urine. Okay, son, this is what that is. And this is why that happens. That means you're at a stage in your life where you just develop sperm. And sperm is how babies come about, blah, 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 blah. But not to be going to school and having all these people trying to push their ideology on my child to try to get them involved in sexual-like type activities before they even thinking about something like that. Folks, you're listening to Cities 92.9 and News Talk of Bloomington Normal. My show, Cancel This. We have a call on the line right now. We're getting ready to address that. Caller, you are on Cities 92.9.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I was on your YouTube show. I saw it pop up, and I saw the call. I wanted to call in to talk about the Disney, what's going on with Disney, and also you said the LGBT community and stuff like that. I want to say, personally, I'm a member. I don't totally disagree with some things you were saying, but I just definitely wanted to add another perspective.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
Okay. No. I was going to say, for me, I always get a little confused, but just in general, when people always or seem to put people in the LGBT community in this category almost as these monsters at nighttime trying to, be predatory against children.
Uh-huh.
For me personally, I'm a person who subscribes to Disney. And I, as a gay black man, I didn't understand when they wanted to put some of the Netflix shows onto Disney. I was like, well, no. Jessica Jones was over there. I don't see why it belongs over here. That's just my opinion. But
right.
I thought that, when it comes to parents, they would, make the right decision of what their kids would be exposed to. For me personally, I don't feel like it's a gay issue more than I feel like it's an adult issue. I think that adults have different things that we all talk about and deal with that should not be exposed to children.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just being a gay person yourself or whatever, a person is in their life, what we do as adults, that's what I'm going to put it this way. What we do as adults do not involve children.
Yes.
Across the board, whether you're heterosexual or gay. It just not involve children. That's coming from a gay black man. I totally agree with that. And I think that, yes, the people who are younger individuals or whatever, whether, kids or teenagers, they should definitely be protected and not exposed to violence, to sexuality, to, a lot of stuff that's happening that we may get confused as adults. But I don't think that if you happen to be a gay person that you're automatically put in the category of not being, I don't know. It boggles my mind. So, I think that there's two different things going on. But, yes, if society or corporations, here we go, if corporations are trying to tell younger people that you should be more grown or more adult than I think that should happen, then, yes, people should protest against that and say, no. For money reasons, we should not have corporations tell children to be more exposed to complications of life. I totally agree with that. But I think as adults, we have to be a little more smarter to know that, what people do in their bedrooms really got nothing to do with anybody else, especially children. But with children being exposed to adult themes or adult, issues, and they shouldn't be exposed to that. You know,
Right.
shouldn't. And I just think that it's a total different issue for me.
No.
Again, I before I even knew the controversy, I was like, you know, I just had a knee-jerk organic reaction when I heard about.
Real quick. I want you to hold the line real quick. We have to take a break right here, but I want you to stay right there because I want a lot of people to hear this, all right? More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal.
Hey, Bloomington Normal, it's Glenn Beck. Keep your dial right where it is. Cities 92.9, your source for local news and talk.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, guys, we had a caller that was on the line who was giving his take on what's going on in Disney and was bringing forth some very good valid points. Not to try to, this is in no way, I don't want nobody to think this, that we're trying to blast it, but he's letting it be known that he's part of the LGBT community. You know, I call it the LGBTQ because sometimes it takes a lot to say all that. But he's on the line right now, and we're going to let him go ahead and continue his point. So go ahead and finish up what you were saying about this, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Listen, you know what I tell you too, brother? I am a part of the LGBT. Listen, I find you funny, so I want to tell you this too. I'm not politically correct. You know, I feel like I'm a weird combination of many things. So that's just what it is. And also, I think that even in my community, there are some different, you know, movements and things that it simply goes right over my head. That's all I can say about that. So it goes over my head. But that being said, when it comes to the idea of people in the community or, you know, whoever, adults, groups of adults who have different lifestyles or different whatever, that people are trying to protect them against, you know, I just, like I said, I think for me, the big issue is that in life, adults go through very complicated things, and children just won't understand that. It doesn't matter with this, you know, relationships or who they go to bed, whatever it is. And yet, I totally agree and hope that yes, children and young adults do not, you know, get exposed to adult, you know, complications, basically. So I have no issues with that at all. I just don't think it's a gay thing in my mind. I think that you know, sex and, you know, balance and you know, all that kind of stuff that is in some of those Netflix shows. When it was pushed over to Disney, I was like, oh damn, wow. I was like, okay, that was a little, you know, that was a little crazy. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think that is a gay thing. I think it's more of an adult thing. Adult topics should not be exposed to children.
Right. You know, there's this, I don't know if, you know, I'm not trying to say I knew how you grew up, but I know I don't know if you ever heard this term before, where I know that when you were a kid, and if you did something even remotely close that resembled sexual like type stuff, your parents were like, quit doing that, your little mannish self. You ever heard that term?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's true. I think that, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you're right. Listen, my family, and I still am in a way, I practice in Christian in some, you know, aspect, but I think that, yes, when it came to sexuality, not sexuality, excuse me, when it came to adult behavior, whether, you know, it's just anything in adult, yeah, you definitely were told that it was wrong, or that you were told you didn't understand it. I shouldn't use that word. The kids simply would not understand what adults themselves barely understand. So while they're trying to mature and to develop and go to school and do all the dreams that they have, they should not be bogged down with some of the complications that come with becoming an adult. And some of the topics, you know, we have the issue going on in Ukraine, some other things. Adults, we don't understand everything. So yes, protect the children, let them stay kids as long as they can. And if you can, yeah, you should not expose them to things that is very confusing.
Right. Man, that's what I'm saying. See, things like this, what we're doing right now, this is what a lot of the world don't want to happen. We can have two different views. We can disagree on things, but here you are. I'm being respectful to you. You're being respectful to me. But at the same time, it's the fact that you're looking at this and saying yourself, protect the children. Like, you know, like they haven't even developed enough to even make certain decisions. And even to the extent right now where, you know, they're even letting, I mean, gosh, a little kid that's 3-4 years old, that's a, you know, he's a biological male, and he says, you know, I'm a girl, and the parents are already trying to get, you know, his penis chopped off and his scrotum chopped off and switching into a vagina. I mean, that, man.
You know what? You brought up a good point. So the thing is, again, I'm part of the community, but that's one of the topics I don't understand. I, too, I don't have any judgments. I don't have strong judgments. At least some things I don't, you know, talk about publicly. But, yes, I'm part of the community, but you don't understand that. I feel like observing your children's behavior. Again, I'm a father, and again, so I don't know if I have a dog in the fight, but observing your children instead of making, definitive ideas about what they are coming to you with, I think is a little, is very, it's very, I know, it's just confusing to me as an adult. I'm like, okay, I think if a kid comes to you and says things to you that, can be very confusing, you should observe them. And I don't think you should, in that moment, as you said, do surgery. I mean, these things that you do to kids could be, damaging mentally. Yeah. I think that you just simply have to observe, love, and don't make life-altering decisions, I don't think. Unless, I don't know.
What you just said right there was key. You said life-altering. And that's the part that a lot of people are not looking at. They're just looking at the whole, I feel like a lot of times right now, people are just rolling with the wave of it's feeling good, or the wave of this so-called wokeism, and the wave of everybody jumping on board, and the wave of, well, everybody seems like they're okay with it right now, but nobody's asking the question about the child 15, 20 years from now.
Right, and listen, I'm in New York City, so I think I called your show a couple of last year, sometime, whatever. And it was people still having a conversation about Black lives, a black gay man. So there are certain things. Yeah, I don't want to go to a store in a big city and go for iced tea and then have a complication or a misunderstanding and be taken out just because of who I am. But that being said, I also live here, and it is bananas, totally crazy. And trust me, I'm not blaming the movements that happened during the pandemic. I think there's a lot of sadness, I think there's a lot of anger, a lot of things happening. But yes, I don't think totally taking, law enforcement out of the cities is going to help, because some of that happened here, and, it's blasphemy to say it, but some of it happened here, and we haven't numbers of crimes here.
Mm.
Yeah, again, I'm not politically correct. I think on Fox News, they may say, oh, no, he's a problem. But I think, as you said, if people listen to each other and realize just based on the book, you may not know what the person really thinks. I'm a gay black. I have different middle-of-the-road feelings about things. And, I'm conservative in some things and liberal in some things. But, I just think at the end of the day, we got to make common sense. Kids shouldn't be exposed to things. You shouldn't be, people shouldn't run roughshod over big cities. Things like that, whatever. So, it is what it is.
Wow. Well, hey, I really appreciate you calling in. Very good, valid points right there. Hopefully we can hear from you again all the way from New York, man. Appreciate you very much. You have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. So, guys, again, right there, shout out to the caller all the way from New York who called in to give us points about the whole Disney wokeism. And just like that. See, that's what I'm saying. I like that, because we just had somebody from that community call in and give their points. And to me, it's so funny how it happened that way, because I was just getting ready to say how the Disney going behind, putting their self behind the LGBTQ, et cetera, and then going after these kids. Then what a lot of people did is they threw that on the LGBTQ community, the Lipica community, the Lipikia community. It's like, oh my God, all that Lipicua community, they all just want to sit there and abuse these kids, because Disney almost seemed like the way that they put it out there almost seemed like that's what they were trying to hide it behind. When all along, it was mainly Disney. It had nothing to do with the LGBTQ community, whatever like that, because like I said, I don't even recall nobody, I don't know, have you seen it? Have y'all seen it? Have y'all seen anybody there that was boycotting Disney saying, y'all not paying attention to the lesbian, gay community, the Libicua community? Nobody's paying attention to the alphabet community. I'm just saying, I may have missed that, but I got a ton of friends in Florida, and not one of them ever said to me, hey, that Disney is being boycotted, and they're out there boycotting Disney. Who? The trans community, the gay community, they're out there just throwing up a fuss at Disney. And why? Because Disney is not paying them enough attention and giving them opportunities and protecting them. So since we didn't hear any of that, I just found it weird that the CEO came out and did this fake virtue signaling, that community, we're behind you. I'm sorry we didn't listen. I'm sorry we wasn't doing this. I'm an ally to you guys. And I'm thinking, like, is there anybody from that community that can speak up and say, we wasn't having no problem with this? I'm confused, y'all. I mean, seriously, I'm confused on what he had to come out and say it for. But he tried to do the same thing. He tried to ride this wave of wokeism and try to put the LGBT community out there. I'm surprised he didn't jump behind black people or Black Lives Matter to try to do it as well. And it ended up backfiring back in his face. But also what they're not talking about is a ton of Disney. Look 6 months from here. Go back 6 months from here. Look how many people that worked for Disney that were completely exposed and arrested for child sex trafficking, including a judge. Did y'all know that? Disney employees. I don't care whether they're from their community or whether they are straight or bi or whatever. It's the fact that they were all caught up in child sex trafficking that included a judge. Why isn't no one talking about that? Why isn't that on any news station? But it definitely is on the news down there in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the title on my YouTube channel. If not, go to YouTube right now, type in Modern Renaissance Man. You can see me live in the studio, and my title says Breaking, America Better Wake Up. In particular, parents. Why? Because they want your children. Children minds can be easily manipulated. They're in a developmental stage right now. They're like a sponge. They're neutral. And whatever you try to implement into that, you can actually end up creating them into being that very thing. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to take a break. You are listening to Cities 92.9, my show, Cancel This, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. Going on Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. Again, that phone number is area code 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at that same number. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go over to YouTube right now. Type in Modern Renaissance Man. When you see my icon, you can call in and you can see me live in the studio, and I can interact with you. You can interact with me. Again, that's on YouTube. I'm also live on Instagram right now at Modern Renaissance Man. So before we took the break, had some awesome information that came out. We had someone from the LGBTQIA, HIJMLP community, Y equals MX plus B. They called in and gave a good point. But no, he gave some really good valid points about children not being exposed to adult-like things, which everybody seemed to agree on that, except for some of these folks who are trying to push this bill out there. So anyway, with that being said, we have someone else that rang the line, and we're going to address that right now. So caller, you are on Cities 92.9.
Hey, what's going on, Tyrus Moses? How you doing today?
What is going on, Moses? How are you?
I'm doing great. So
Good.
You're touching on the Disney thing, and you're hitting on all points. And something that I've recently seen, like, their stocks are going down, so everything's going down. People are even canceling their Disney Plus subscription.
Yep.
So I have a sneaking feeling that I don't know whether Disney's going to change or if it's going to go down, but they've been having a lot of corruption throughout the years, especially with child trafficking, you know?
Right. That's what I think. I just mentioned that a minute ago about how no one is talking about the fact that they just arrested a lot of people that were working for Disney, including a judge for child sex trafficking.
Exactly. And you know what this does? I think this is going to set a precedent in terms of these corporations like not wanting to go woke. I'll give you an example. I know this is like out of subject, but ExxonMobil, they actually recently banned LGBTQ and BLM flags to go up, like the big ones. And everybody's all bent out of shape. It was like, you know, Ron DeSantis really sent a message to these corporations, hey, don't mess with our kids. So I think we got to start telling these corporations with our wallets, hey, you mess with our kids or you endorse something that's going to hurt our kids, we're not going to support your business. That's what we're going to have to start doing.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. But that's the only point I want to hit on. Like, I feel as if the tide is going to turn, the tide is going to shift, but it's going to be a never-ending battle. So everybody, keep your chin up, because it's going to be one of those things where they're going to come ferociously more than ever. I have that feeling, but we're going to have to stay strong.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless you, Ty.
You too, Moses. All right, shout out to the caller right there, everybody. That was Moses who called in and gave his point on that, and you heard what he said? He said it's going to be a battle and it's going to get ferocious. Well, you know what? To that, I say, Moses, you might be right on that, but at the same time, oh my God, welcome. I welcome that. If they want to pretty much pick up their, what they call it, up the ante, if they want to up the ante on coming after our children, then we as parents have to do it as well. Again, that's why on my channel right now on YouTube, my title says, America Better Wake Up. In particular, parents, they want your children. I say this over and over again. And it's actually something that I said in a video that went viral, but everybody focused on the CRT part of what I said. And we probably be able to get y'all I'll probably get that clip pulled up here in a little bit to show you guys that this is one of the parts that I know that mainstream media, they had the whole tape of what I said. But at the same time, I also went into the hypersexuality of children. as well. And I said it behooves me that human beings seem to be the only species on earth right now that won't put their life on the line for their children. Man, you can have animals that are out there in the wild that are considered to be prey. These animals are considered to be prey. They're the ones being hunted. But if something seems to change when those animals have children, babies, joeys, cubs, something seems to change when they become a parent. Now that they step right in the way of danger. Do not touch my child. Don't try to come and harm my child. That's what it seems like they're doing. They will step and put their life on the line. They will die to protect their children. It has a lot to do with the fact that that's their offspring, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that they are protecting that future. If you have a bunch of people in high places that want to hypersexualize your children, I think California is trying to get children they want to teach children to consent. Like in the 2nd and 3rd grade, they want to teach them about sexual consent. What kind of nonsense is that? Teaching them about sexual consent? Who in the world is even introducing these bills? And whoever it is, we need to look at them. If there's any, man, guys, right now, how is it this? Tell me this. Riddle me this. How is it that we got these shows out there right now called To Catch a Predator? You got these predators online trying to groom these kids to come to their house so they can have sex with these kids, but then yet you got people in politics that's writing bills to do that very thing. What makes them different? Chris Hansen, go after the politicians. That's what you need to be doing, to catch a politician. To catch a pedophile politician, that's what you need to do. Because any of them that's trying to put this stuff into legislation, I mean, guys, can you imagine somebody is wanting to write a bill to have sex with your child? What in the world made them even think of something like that? Yeah, that stuff like that, it ticks me off because these are kids you dealing with. Oh, we just going to sit back. These people that's supposed to have these high and mighty thought processes, and they all politicians, and they all of this certain type of elitism, and we're of a certain type of community, and we don't deal with you peasants. Never will we descend from on high to come and mingle among you commoners. But we want to have sex with your children. So we're going to introduce a bill out there among all the little people out there. You know, as long as we keep giving them welfare and we keep giving them all these different things, give them a free cell phone. They'll let us have sex with their children. Oh, give them extra food stamps. We'll have more sex with their children. Oh, I tell you what, let's make more Disney movies. Well, most of our movies contain us killing off the parents. Yeah, most of our movies kill off the fathers. If not, we kill off both parents, then leave the children exposed to the world. And that's where we step in and we actually take the children so we can keep on defiling them. That's what we want to do. I'm serious. That's what it seems like they're doing. This might seem crazy to you guys, but I'm one of those weird people to look deep into stuff. And a lot of times my wife, she absolutely hates it. Guys, can y'all think of a lot of your Disney movies right now? A lot of your Disney movies, they kill off the parents. Bambi, mom gets killed. And then Bambi dad don't even want to have nothing to do with him, really. It's sad, but Bambi dad didn't want to have nothing to do with him until Bambi was kind of grown up. He just showed up a few times, Bambi. Like, dude, what happened in Lion King? Who y'all do know that and when it comes to lions, I mean, that's a deep story right there. The male lions, they go out and patrol to make sure no danger is coming to the pride. No danger is coming to the family. They go out and do that. They mark their territory. They fight. They battle. They keep danger away from their children. The male lions do that. So what happened in Lion King? Had to kill off Mufasa. Because what did he represent? He represented stability. He represented strength. He represented all kinds of different things, folks. He represented protection. He represented wisdom. He represented leadership. But then want to kill him off. What's that movie with the Let It Go, Frozen? Where are their parents? Gone. All kind of Disney movies, the parents are gone. Almost like Disney just kind of slowly just crept that little ideology in there. And now they want to come for your kids. But the question is, when it all comes down to it, folks, I know we hear a whole lot of different things about people going woke and all these different people trying to come at your children and different things like that. I know we hear a whole bunch of weird narratives that are going out there right now. But the question is, the only way those things can really get into your child and it becomes a part of your child's vocabulary, a part of your child's ideology, a part of your child's thinking, a part of your child's attitude, a part of your child's character is you, the parent, let it happen. Uh-oh. Yep. You heard me say it. Don't come to me and say things like, oh, our children, oh, my man, what they're doing to these kids. Yes, that's terrible, but who's letting them watch it? Huh? Who's letting, you mean, a lot of people I know, their kids got TVs in their room. They 4, 5, 6 years old with a TV in their room. TV is voice controlled. Hey, Alexa, put it on Disney. Kids in there watching all kinds of stuff. Look, folks, when I was a kid, even when I did see something Disney, did y'all know that the teachers used to make us put our head down like in Cinderella or Snow White? You know, they used to make us put our head down. They'd pause the video and say, okay, everybody, put your heads down. And they would like fast forward. And we used to be like, what the heck did they fast forward? So then what we end up doing, when there's a such thing as a video store, we would go to the video store and we would go, okay, we know that it was at this one part where that Prince, he went and he sat down next to the Sleeping Beauty girl, and our teacher made us put our heads down. What happened there? So we went and rented the video from Video Review, and we watched it, and it was like, oh, he kissed her. Ooh. So why was our teachers trying to protect us from something like that? In a lot of Disney movies, yeah, they are people in there, princes and princesses, they're kissing each other and different things like that. But when that would happen in the show, the teachers wouldn't even let us see it. Why was that? What were they trying to protect us from? Was it that back then at that time that the teachers and the system had a lot of morals to the extent to where they were like, okay, we don't want the kids to see that. Why? I can tell y'all why. I can tell y'all why. Because they knew good and well that kids would probably go and try to practice that, which they absolutely 100% did. I knew of kids that got in trouble. What happened? Him and that girl went behind that tree and they started kissing. So why are they in trouble? They're not supposed to be doing that. You talk to the kids, why did you kiss her? Because that's what he did in Cinderella. Look, kids will tell you because that's what they imitate these things. He would say, I was the prince and she was the princess. And the prince kissed Cinderella. So I'm kissing her. Why did the adults get upset about that? Because they felt that kids should not be doing things like that at that age because they what? They do not understand what they are doing. So that's why teachers had enough dang on virtue back then to keep those type of things from children because they did not want them to go out and practice that. But now, my God, they got all kinds of crazy stuff on shows right now. And you wonder why these kids are practically brainless right now. Kids are just completely brainless. Let's play, you can go out there and tell them, let's play. And they looking at you like, what? Oh, yeah, okay, we can play. I have this game, that game, this game, and that game. No, let's go outside and run. No, I got a game called Running Man. No, let's go outside and jump and swing. Oh, yeah, there's a game called Jump Swinger, too. Completely brainless because parents don't want to be parents anymore. It's easier for you parents to push this off on the iPad. It's easier for you parents to push it off on a computer. It's easy for you parents to push it off on a phone, which I don't know why in the world a kid would have a phone right now. That's my own opinion right there. My sons didn't get a phone until they got jobs and they bought their own phones. No way. Because they're not phones anymore. They're handheld computer devices that is an easy leak way for the enemy to get in. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Bloomington Normal. Real quick, this is Kev from Speechless. Wanted to let you guys know that there is a tornado watch in the Cities 92.9 listening area until 8 p.m. Stick with Cities 92.9 either on air or check out our social media pages for consistent updates. Be safe out there, y'all. There is a tornado watch in the Cities 92.9 listening area until 8 p.m. Be safe and keep on listening.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you'd like to see me live in the studio, go to YouTube right now and type in Modern Renaissance Man and see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me. I'm also live on Instagram right now at Modern Renaissance Man. And before we took the break, you guys heard me going on a rant right now about how these pedophilia-filled people are coming after your children. And just to kind of throw a little bit of I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of perspective here of what some of these people think about pedophilia. A lot of people don't think that it's wrong. And here's an example right here. Check this out.
Thank you so much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person or MAP
turn it up a little
in the
bit
title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction.
Wow, so you just heard that? Pretty much what this person just got done saying is that you should not be labeled a pedophile if you have like an attraction to children. You should not be labeled a pedophile. You should just be labeled somebody that is a minorly attracted to small persons, whatever.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Producer Kev, real quick. So that's Alan Walker, who teaches sociology and criminal justice at Old Dominion University. And then they wrote a book discussing the term minor attracted person. So this is a professor at a university of sociology and criminal justice that is pushing this.
Can y'all believe that? Thanks for that, Kev. Can y'all believe that they are pushing that, like, almost as if it's going to be okay for you to be attracted to children sexually? This is what ladies and gentlemen, these things are going to be making its way to the colleges your kids are going to. So think about this. You already have it to where they're trying to groom the children already right now. So then by the time your children even reach college, it's going to be like a norm. Your children going to feel that, hey, yeah, I know that I was sexually abused, or they won't even call it then. Oh, I know that I had I don't know what they want to call it. Pre-sexual, supposed to be experiences at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when they become an adults, they're going to feel like they're trying to make it like it's going to be a normal thing for that to happen to you as a kid. This is what's going on right now. But again, when it comes down to it, it's going to come down to you, the parent, making sure that you are protecting your children. They are your children, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you are paying attention to the shows that your children are watching. But again, I need to nail this home because I'm going to switch off to something else. The fact that we have politicians that's standing up for stuff like this, that feel that it's okay, they went into law, should tell you something. I made a comment on here, then they ran. I'm talking about YouTube. To the people that are listening on the radio, I'm also live on YouTube. Someone made a comment on here and said, you right-wing folks always think that X, Y, like people like this are really trying to come after your children. No one is coming after your children. That's what they said. Now, this person's name is David. He said, I'm not calling into this lame show. What do you have, like 10 listeners? David, you're not calling in. Again, people like that, why are you hiding behind your words on this computer screen, David? You so bold to prove me wrong on why you might have a thing for kids, you don't want to call in. Why? See, because if you feel like you're doing something wrong, you won't have no shame about it, right? You won't be hiding behind anything. But you're hiding behind your computer right now because you feel that it's okay for people to be attracted to kids. You think that, oh, these right-wing people, they just, what's wrong with you guys? There's nothing. Are you serious right now? But you won't call in. Why is that? Now, again, you trying to switch subjects and jump ship because you know what would happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing with right now. People like David, probably got a big mustache, big glasses, jean pants with his shirt tucked in, and big white shoes. They coming for your kids. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. Again, that phone number is 309-451-9299. If you'd like to see me live in the studio, go over to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you can interact with me. I'm also live on Instagram right now at Modern Renaissance Man. And before we took the break, you see that this topic right now has kind of been how we've been having a lot of callers calling in, stating their opinion, et cetera, and we're getting ready to do that right now. Caller, you on Cities 92.9. Right now.
Hello.
Hello, you're on Cities 92.9. This is Ty.
Just a moment. Thank you, James. Yeah, Ty, it's my brother. I was on hold waiting for my brother to get me the phone. Hey, listen, years ago, Bill Clinton made the guy that was the head of that owns Hormel himself, an ambassador, probably cost him $375 or something, $300 anyway, to Ireland. But I stopped buying their products because he was the head of an organization called Northern Men and Boys. He wanted to legalize 10-year-old little boys for sex. That's Hormel himself.
He wanted to legalize 10-year-old boys for sex?
Yes, and I'm talking 20-some years ago now. This is not new. You know me, Ty. I keep up on everything, times, dates, and places.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wanted to. And now, if you remember, Hillary Clinton, when they had that hurricane, I think it was in Haiti, one of the islands there, she sent a young black girl over. And the only reason I mentioned her color is because of the fact it was easier for her to get into the people. And she was caught bringing 22 young girls back across into this country.
Wow.
And I think she went to jail. But these girls that never would be seen again. These people are into sacrificing and all of this. How in the world can anybody vote Democrat? I just don't understand it.
Well, that's,
I love it. Huh?
Yeah, I just said right. That's what blows my mind. It blows my mind because not only are they in favor of killing children, but they also are in favor of sexing them.
Yes, that's what they're going to do with these 22 little girls. And then, you know what? They'll never be seen again. They'll kill them. Now, you have to understand something. If you watch Netflix and decide, I need to talk to you off the air because you're a pastoral service, please, Guy. It's very important.
Gotcha.
But now, it used to be called Clinton's Murders on Netflix. They had their own corner. Some guy shot himself in the back 3 times, and they wrote it down to suicide. You remember
I heard of that, yeah. He got shot in the back 3 times, but he was self-inflicted.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I've seen double jointed, but I've never seen nobody be able to shoot themselves in the back 3 times.
Me neither.
And so it's I don't know what the hell's wrong with these people out here. That meeting I went to, and you were sitting there and didn't get a chance to speak. I can't even go into my doctor's office. If I do, they're going to have me arrested because I told the nurse what was happening. 19, 20, 25, 30-year-olds getting AIDS. Now it's going to be 5 and 6-year-olds getting AIDS by the time they're 9 and 10. These people need to live on it. I talked to a friend of mine who lives from the west side where I'm from. He lives on over there off of Cicero Avenue in Midway. And so we agreed that these people down here are just, I don't know what's wrong with them.
They're sick.
They don't know anything. You know what? You see guys that can tell you the baseball score in 1913. You got these farmers around here tell you how much corn was in 1920, but don't ask them who the vice president is. I'm in the store over here talking. They had a coffee area in there, Dave's in Fairbury. I'm in there, and all these old guys, my age, whatever, 70s. I'm 78. They get up and they walk away. They don't want to discuss it. They don't want to talk about it. Everybody that's pushing these laws, God forbid, it's a horrible thing to say, but it should happen to their grandchildren. Nobody else, every lawyer out there that defends rapists and judges that let people go, to be a judge, you should be beaten unmerciful like in Grant Park, like what's his name was, and nobody went to jail. But after he caught a whipping, everybody went to jail.
Right.
Every judge should be his car stolen. Then you find out the insurance had lapsed and nobody told you. Anything it can happen. So when that happens to you or your family or your wife, all of a sudden he can recognize it. Did you ever see that movie with Jackson? It's a time for killing.
Yep, A Time to Kill. Yeah. He said, I kill them and I hope they burn in hell.
I loved it, man. You sound just like him. I loved it, man. I mean, your voice. I loved it. I thought, you know me, man. I don't give a damn what color you are. You're going to pay for what you did. And what they did to that little girl supposedly in the movie. And here's now everybody's talking about our governor. Have you ever seen a movie called Air Force One?
Yes, with Harrison Ford.
Right, with that little daughter that was in there. She was like 13 or 14. Her name is Leslie Matthews, stage name. Her real name is Leslie Preschner, the governor's cousin. Okay, his father and her father, her mom and dad got a divorce, and the kids were supposed to get this money from their inheritance. His father, here's why he's so bad. His father and her father stole the kids' money. Look it up. Just look up Leslie Matthews. You'll see the whole history of her and what's going on. And it cost them $100 million each for their 2 kids to get their money back.
Wow.
But that's how bad our government. How can you cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat? Adolf Hitler did nothing compared to what the Democrats have done. Except for he passed laws for 7 years to kill everybody he killed. He didn't just go out and random pick people. He picked people out and he passed a law to kill these people. Roe versus Wade took 2 years. 2 years. And they've killed 70 million people. For you people that don't understand finances, I know I'm talking a lot and fast, but for you people that don't understand why you're not going to get no Social Security, because you killed all the potential taxpayers. So now for 28 years, the first 20, the babies up to working age, the last 28 years, these people would be paying into Social Security. And you're not going to get it because of these people. Because you killed 28, and surely not the people are letting in this country. People don't understand something. They have no idea how much money is sent back south of the border, and they get nothing for it. You're not buying a car made in Mexico or a television. But they're sending millions. Walmart is the biggest money launderer in the world. Stand in there, any place you have a heavy population, including Bloomington, sit there across from the service desk and watch the Mexicans come in and get money orders to send back to Mexico.
Wow.
People don't even realize what's going on.
Nope. Well, you know what? I think the biggest thing is that I hate for something to happen this way, but it's almost like the equivalence of, like what you just said. People don't realize what's going on, but I hate to say it this way. Did it take something like this to happen for people finally to start paying attention to their family and their kids? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because the way I look at it, the fact that they can be so bold and open with this rhetoric, it just like, okay, they must feel like, okay, hey, we groomed the society down good enough just so we know that if we throw this in there that the society is ready to accept our pedophilia.
All the people that are yelling racism never lived in a racist neighborhood. They never lived in a black neighborhood. I got 40 years of my life living in black neighborhoods.
Oh, man.
On the west side of my house, the neighborhood had already changed when I bought my house. And thank goodness Biden got in because I never knew I was a racist. I lived with blacks my whole life. Keep in mind what he said. I don't want my kids going to a public school with a bunch of people from the jungle.
Sorry, George. I mean, I knew you grew up around black people all your life and all that, but what you didn't know is that you were inherently racist because your forefathers passed that DNA down to you, and since you don't know how to think, it's inherently in you, but right now you're just blind to the fact that you're racist, George, so yeah.
I know. Well, actually, my father come from Greece in 1903.
See, that's a racist term right there. What, all black folks use grease? I'm joking.
Well, you know what's in Greece more than anything, don't you? French fries. But anyway, I really need to talk to you. It's super important, Ty.
And we'll do it, George. We got to get ready to take a break here. I will be looking forward to talking to you offline so I can see what's going on with you, sir. I appreciate you calling in. We got to get ready to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, shout out to George right there, one of our regular callers right there who always call in and offer some insight on here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's apparent right now. If you can't see that we're in a battle right now, then you must completely be blind, or you just choosing you don't want to look. You can feel the shrapnel hitting you in the back. You can feel the wind. You can feel the sonic boom, but you're refusing to turn around and look. Because guess what? If you happen to look to really see what's going on, you are going to be met with something called truth. And the thing about truth is that once it hits you and once you see it, you cannot deny it. That's the thing. You cannot deny it. Truth cannot be denied. And I thank God right now that a lot of parents and a lot of people in America is really starting to see this thing for what it is. Right now, all these people that were here in Bloomington, they were all at this school board meeting that I went viral on. They were speaking up for Black Lives Matter and all that. They got nothing to say about Black Lives Matter right now, that they pimp black people. If they really care for black people, are they going to stand for the black people that got pimped by Black Lives Matter? More to show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to 692.9 and who's talking Bloomington Normal.
Hey, Bloomington Normal. This is Kev from Speechless. Just letting you know that right now, the city's 92.9 listening area is under a tornado watch until 8 p.m. We urge all of you listeners to be safe out there and stay cautious. We are under a tornado watch until 8 p.m. Stick with Cities 92.9 for further updates. Check out our Facebook. We're currently streaming the Viper Radar live to check out exactly what's going on. There's a tornado watch until 8 p.m. Stay safe, everybody, and keep on listening.
What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you listen to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio where you can interact with me and I can interact with you, go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you can see me live in the studio. So before we took the break, you heard the caller that called in, and you can see that most people seem to be all in agreement. Everybody seems to be in agreement that what they're doing right now to these children is absolutely ridiculous. They're seeing that these children are getting sex type stuff too early. They're seeing that these children are being groomed right now. And we had somebody from the LGBT, the alphabet community that called in and agreed with this. We had regular fathers that called in and agreed with this. So this is telling y'all something. People are waking up, which is sad to say that. It's sad to say that people are waking up when they should have been woke in the beginning. It is a shame, and I'm talking about it's a shame, that human beings seem not to care about life of children. We are aborting them at an alarming rate, and right now, you can go into Schaefer, easily offended Schaefer. He's doing interviews with people. There are people on there saying things like, yeah, they agree that after a baby is born, within 28 days, you still can make the decision to want to exterminate your child. How is that even a conversation right now? There was a doctor that's on there right now. He said he read the whole bill, and this bill states that a parent, after having a child, they still can abort, they still can have the baby terminated after the child is born, like within 28 days. Still can have the child killed, y'all. This is where we at. And then right now, if you are a parent out there, right now, you are a parent, and you think it's okay for a stranger to talk to your child about intimate subjects like sex. I don't care. Don't even talk to my child about relationships. If you think that's okay, then you need to have yourself examined. Why is it, ladies and gentlemen, riddle me this. Why is it that you can get in trouble, and trust me, you hear about it all the time because every job requires it. And in my profession, it requires to go through a course every year. Why is it that you can get in trouble, fired from your job for sexual harassment? If you feel like somebody is sexually harassing you, you can report it, that person getting in trouble. If you see somebody getting sexually harassed, you can report it, they can get in trouble. If they even talk about sexual-related things on the job and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you can report that as sexual harassment, but then you can send your child to school as a darn kindergartner, first or second grader, and have these people called teachers talk to your child about sexually related things and that not be remember, sexual harassment is supposed to be if it's sexual harassment to me. So if that's the case and that is that teacher's job, what if I feel that what you're doing and what you're talking about to these children is sexual harassment because it's making me feel uncomfortable about what you're talking to these children about? But oh no, they got a system behind it that's protecting them from that. Now, what do you get to a point where teachers can say, I don't think parents should have a say-so of what's being taught? Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they can. Because math, social studies, writing, those type of things, that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with you talking about kids with sex and things like that. It has nothing to do with that. Listen to me when I tell you this. See, when it comes to things that's related to intimacy, sexual related things, that should be a parent thing. Parents, the reason why you are a parent right now is because you did sexually related things to have your child. Oh, well, no, Toy, there's adoption. We're not talking about adoption. We're talking about people, a man and a woman, who had children or a child. They should be talking to their children about that, not the school. Let me tell you why. Because what school should be teaching children should be things that those children are actually going to use as tools when they get out of school. You will continuously need to use math when you get out of school, right? You will know how to write when you get out of school. Well, today's generation, they can just text and type, but still, you will know how to write when you get out of school. And when you do write, periods, commas, semicolons, start a new paragraph. Those things are essential. Well, no, not really, Todd, because you got to do a resume. Those things are essential. I get that. Now, even up to an extent, I know that they teach history in school, but they need to be teaching history the right way. But still, why? Why do they call it a general education? Knowing about sexually related themes is not a general education because that's something that is intimate and it should be taught by the parents. I'm pretty sure, which the last caller that called in, he caused a ruckus at the District 5 school board meeting. He said, I want every man in here to stand up if somebody had to teach you how to masturbate. He said it, and it's the truth. He said, I want every man to stand up if you had to be taught how to do that. Guess how many men stood up out of the hundreds of people that were there at the school board meeting? Not one man. Then he said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. How about you raise your hand if somebody had to teach you how to do that? They didn't, did they? The reason why, folks, because there's something called a natural growth. It's a natural progression. Who taught Adam and Eve? Now, if you're not Christian and if you're not all about that, if you're not about Christianity, I got people on here that are Hindi, they are Buddhists, they are atheists that follow me on YouTube right now. They know I'm not disrespecting them. The point is, I'm not talking to them when I'm making this statement. But to those that are of the faith and follow after Christ, who taught Adam and Eve how to do that? For some reason, this thing that they figured out how to make the puzzles fit, didn't they? So you telling me that you wouldn't learn that you wouldn't know that as a person? Look where we are right now. There's human beings all over the earth. People figured it out. There was no schools back then during those times that had to teach these people how to do this. So how did they learn how to do it? How did they learn? Because who? I guarantee you it had to be some parent or somebody like that to tell them. Or if not, they figured it out. That's why I was telling the caller, the one caller that called in from the ABC community, well, the alphabet community, he made a really good point there. There's some things that just don't need to be taught to children. Children figure things out. Ladies and gentlemen, you used to get in trouble if you was a little boy and you tried to sneak a girl behind like a building or behind a tree and you tried to kiss her. You know what I mean? You got in trouble for that. Any boys that demonstrated things like that, they said you are mannish. And I'm from the hood, so they call you mannish. Now, if you were a girl and you were going around trying to kiss boys, they said, I'm just talking about from the hood, and they say she a little fast. Boop. I'm talking about the A word. Y'all need to watch that girl right there because she a little fast, A. That's what they would say. She's fast. Fast means she was displaying sexual intentions at too early of an age. At too early of an age. If there was a little boy who kept on trying to kiss girls and grab them, they said, you're not supposed to be doing that. Why is it wrong to do that? Go deeper. Where did he get that from? Oh, because he might have seen your daddy watching something that daddy wasn't supposed to. Vice versa. He might have seen mom watching something. But my point in saying all that is that no school had to teach these kids to do that. So why do they feel the need to do it now? And on top of that, why do they feel the need to do it at such an early age? Why? Anyway, folks, this is what you're dealing with right now. If these kids turn out to be these young-minded, hypersexualized kids who are desensitized to something being done wrong to them, you're going to have a generation of complete confusion. There's already a lot of confused ones right now. But this is what we're dealing with when you have all this crazy wokeism going on right now. This is what they're trying to push because they want the kids. And this might be a little twist right there I want to throw in on you guys too. If you ever watch the Animal Channel, and I'm flipping this a little bit, they'll decipher them between one being called prey and one being called a predator. If you watch it close enough, do you know who the predators go after?
Sure, you gotta hit on what he's already been hitting on.
Do you know who the predators go after? Yes, I want y'all to think about that. If you ever watch Animal Planet, the Discovery Channel, pick any animal that's on 4 feet, a lion, a tiger, a hyena, a jackal, a wolf.
That'll be a great addition. I'm going to put you on hold.
Who do you think they go after? Thank you very much. Lawrence Riatano from on YouTube just answered the question. He said they go after the babies. Why do predators go after the babies? Why do they go after the children? Because they're easy. They don't know that they're in danger. These animals that are born, guys, you can watch videos right now. There was a antelope that was born. It had no awareness of what danger was, and the lion was, I think it was a jaguar. The jaguar The leopard was getting ready to kill this antelope. And the antelope thought that the jaguar was its parent. It didn't even know it was even in danger. So the jaguar was confused, like, okay, why isn't it running? The jaguar starts to walk off, and the little antelope followed the jaguar. Next thing you know, the jaguar, which was a female, motherly instincts kind of kicked in. It started grooming the antelope and started kind of pretty much almost raising this antelope like it was its own. They go after the babies because they have no awareness of themselves being in danger. And guess what? This darn antelope ended up following this jaguar around and started almost trying to learn the ways of the jaguar. The jaguar jumping up in the tree, it started calling. It's trying to climb the tree, but it can't. It had no way of knowing that it was in danger. And that's what they're trying to do to these kids, because these kids don't know that they're being taught something that's very poisonous. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to address a call here. You listen to Season 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. If y'all didn't hear that, I might have been a little rusty on that. The phone number here is 309-451-9299. And before we took the break, I was going on a rant about these things, dealing with children, why predators go after them, because children can be easily manipulated. They don't even know they're in danger. So whatever that child is around can easily be influenced by the person who's implementing certain things into them. And before we took the break, we had a caller that called in, and we're going to address that right now. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9.
Yeah, this is Ty?
Yes, sir. This is Ty.
Ty, I love your show. Glad you're on the air, speaking your voice, which is a lot of everybody else's voice. On your point on the sex education, my family, we're Christians. We teach abstinence. Mm-hmm. And so we don't want someone teaching something different. But if I was a family and I wanted to just teach my kids to go out and have fun and explore and have fun while you're young, I wouldn't want people teaching abstinence. Mm-hmm. So it goes both ways. They just shouldn't be teaching it's the family's choice. It's the family's duty. Do some families drop the ball? Sure. Do some dads drop the ball as far as providing for their families? Yes. I mean, unfortunately, when you have families that don't help their kids, sometimes that leads to trouble, but it's just not the business of public schools to be teaching kids, let alone kindergartners. So even when you get to the level of junior high, when you're going, whenever they're going to teach sex education, mm-hmm. It should be more, and it was when I was a kid, more of a like an AMP, just the physical part of how things happen. But right. It's not about technique, or it's not about anything else. Like you said, I can't speak for women, but any man can figure things out on their own. Right. And so it's just crazy how the left doesn't want us pushing something on them, but they don't realize that they're pushing it on us. Exactly. And then we'll try to reverse it and make it seem like we are the ones who are wrong or mean, or they're trying to throw a phobic on anything because we don't want this stuff being taught to our children. That's correct. Yep. Well, that's a really good point. And you know what? And that's what I love about this. You said as Christian, we teach abstinence. And what's amazing about that is that I don't know if it was during your time, I don't know how old you are, but me, I'm 40 years old. Whenever they try to present this to us, did you know that in our book about sex education, abstinence literally had a paragraph? And everything else is about sex. And the pastor that I grew up with, that I ended up living with for years, he actually signed off on a lot of papers for anyone in our church that was not to be taught to no children in our church. Because when they read through the material, he said, this is teaching y'all how to do it. It's not telling y'all, it's not even talking about the subject of sex itself, per se, it's pretty much telling you how to do it. And then abstinence had a paragraph, and that was it. Okay, abstinence means you're not having sex. That's all it means. So anyway, moving on. Ooh, sex. So what do you think that made people want to do? I swear it seemed like right after that happened, people just started getting pregnant. Yeah, like I said, it's one thing when it's something they don't agree with, they want to shut you down, but they just don't understand that they're doing the same exact thing to conservatives, and we're just supposed to lie back and take it. And it's not supposed to, the rules don't apply both ways. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Thanks for having me on, Ty.
You're welcome. Hope that we can hear from you again, sir, and God bless.
Yeah, thank you, too.
All right, so guys, you hear about this, that, people are tired of it, y'all. I mean, we're at a point right now, parents are tired of it. I cannot tell you guys how many emails I get from, and I'm not trying to, make no distinction, but I'm just telling y'all it is what it is. I'll get so many emails and have gotten so many emails from men. Ty, thank you so much for what you did at the school board meeting. Ty, thank you for standing up. Ty, for some reason, the way you stood up and spoke so boldly, it made me stand up. Ty, that made me, I just keep on hearing all these men and these emails I'm getting of these different men and on my channel telling me they stood up. And all of a sudden, I go on YouTube. If I look at my analytics, did y'all know out of the 180,000 subscribers that y'all see on my channel, 80% of people on my channel are men. Well, that's because this is a man's. No, it's not. It grew. At first, 2 years ago, women were the most subscribed to my channel. And now it's men now. Because people actually have been, look, people are at a point. I don't care whether you are a Christian or you are a Buddhist or you are a Satanist. People care about their children. And what this evil has done right now, it pretty much crept in to make y'all think, oh, yeah, we can go ahead and do this because you know what? We know, especially, I'm just telling y'all the truth, especially among the black community, 70% of all blacks don't have a father in the home. And if a father's not in the home and is not there to protect that child, that actually can open that child up to all kinds of things, man. There's a study out there. Not only that, there's actually conversations out there that there are a lot of people out there that just kept it hush-hush, that things happen to them. These things happen. They are real. But right now, the fact that they want to groom your children into thinking that this is okay is sickening. Schools wanting to teach your child and talk to your child about sex. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm kind of standing on it because I'm trying to move on, but for some reason, the Holy Spirit is not moving me that way. I'll move on. I'll try my best. Animals. Animals right now. Every animal that you see out there came from another animal. How do they know? How do they know? How do they know where the puzzle pieces fit? Insects, my God. How do they know where the puzzle pieces fit? Think of any animal right now that you know right now. That animal came from somewhere. Chickens, birds. I don't care what, a caterpillar, a butterfly, a buffalo, a water buffalo, a wolf. How do they know where the puzzle pieces fit to produce a child? And then when the child is produced, they protect that child. It's amazing. Where I've been living at right now in Bloomington, me and my wife, we are fascinated at this couple called ducks. They come back every spring. They come back to the same spot in our backyard every single spring, man. It's amazing. These same two ducks. They're here in the spring. By the time, winter's getting ready to kick in, we don't see these ducks no more. But then just like about last week, these same two pairs, these same ducks, they came right back there in our backyard because one of our neighbors have a fountain back there that's pretty much like a pool. And these ducks come there, they have their little ducklings, whatever like that, and next thing you know, they're gone. They're pairs. They come back. My point is saying all that is that these animals seem to know what to do, but human beings don't. So anyway, folks, appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to that segment right there. I know I went on for most of the show on that, but it's dead in my heart because I think that actually had to be the biggest part because you have to protect the children. Children have to be protected. And anybody out there who think and feel that pedophilia is a good thing, you are disgusting. You heard me. I'm not going to back on that. If you feel that pedophilia is a good thing, you are a disgusting individual and you need to have some psychological help now. You need the power of the Holy Spirit to help your mind because you are one sick individual if you think it's okay for children to be exposed to sexual-like things before they even hit adolescence, period. If you think it's okay for teachers, and if teachers feel that they should be the ones teaching kids about sex just because you got something called a degree or you went to school for something, or you feel just because you're a teacher that you should be talking to kids about sex, something's wrong with you too. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care how many PhDs and X, Y, and Z's that you have behind your name. If you feel that it's okay to be talking to children about sex and sexual-like themes and all that stuff, something's wrong with you. Yes, you can be a teacher and be a sicko too. Anyway, folks, moving on from that, let's move on to our next woke thing. CNN Plus getting canceled. I mean, my God, nobody saw that coming. Who would have thought that would have happened? But what it's doing right now, it's showing y'all, right? It's showing y'all what these industries are about. CNN barely even got the... How long were they up? Like a month, maybe? Like, not even. They weren't even up a month, and they put $300 million?
They launched on March 29th.
They launched on March the 29th. Their marketing strategy team, whoever it was, put $300-some million into advertising, et cetera, and then they just dropped. Nobody. I have more subscribers than them. Why is that? People are tired of, like what Trump said. You're fake news. You're fake news. I don't want to talk to you. You're fake news. Fake, fake, fake. CNN is just hanging on by a thread. All of a sudden, their CEO, I think he resigned. Cuomo, him and his brother, both of them some freaks. They both just can't keep their hands off of women. And Don Lemon should be next because somebody reported some stuff that he did. He's just, that what Don Lemon did was nasty. The point is this. If they're so virtuous, if they're so righteous and so, it's all about journalism, and we're just trying to point to the journalists, why is no one subscribed to the CNN Plus? And for the people that actually watch CNN, why didn't y'all back y'all people up? I'm just saying, why didn't y'all back y'all people up? This is what happens when you try to go woke. You go woke, and then you end up going broke. So what's crazy about this is that I had a lot of people that came out about CNN. This is terrible. All those employees that got on there with CNN, these people don't have no jobs anymore. They lost their jobs, folks. So you shouldn't be praising the fact that CNN Plus got shut down. People lost their jobs. Now, look, I'm not about nobody losing their jobs. But when it comes to something like this, I don't want this to be mean or rude or anything about this. But at the same time, can I ask y'all this? What good would it have done to be on CNN Plus? You had people who were cheering when people that's in the same type of background like I am in healthcare losing their jobs because we won't get injected with something that we don't want in our bodies. Y'all was good. Yeah, they don't need to be working anyway. These people in healthcare, look at that. Y'all are in, for a whole year and a half, we were working without vaccinations, with so-called vaccination within our system. We didn't want to take this vaccination. We worked a whole year and a half before there was a such thing as a vaccination. But when the vaccination came along and they tried to mandate us to do it, and we said no, healthcare workers were losing their jobs. And look, I don't care which side you're on, whether you were left or right. If you were of a certain mindset that was praising the fact that people like in healthcare were losing their jobs, you were praising that. Well, good. But before that, we were your heroes. Before that, we were the heroes. But then y'all end up praising the fact that we were losing our jobs in healthcare. And we were doing something that was beneficial. We were helping people. And I'll hit on that a little bit more when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. What's going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is 309-451-9299. Again, that phone number is 309-451-9299. And if you're going to call in, let me just tell you this. If you are not going to be talking about the theme that is currently at hand and you're going to go off the subject, most likely my producer is not going to accept the call. I'm just letting y'all know that because we don't want to just take no turns. So anyway, before we took the break, you guys heard what I was talking about, right? Y'all heard what I was talking about. I was talking about what happened with companies just trying to go woke like CNN. CNN Plus got canceled before they can even hit the ground running, right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, America is showing you that they are done dealing with all the crazy propaganda, all the sensationalism, all the people that's trying to push out this fake virtue signaling. America is showing that they are completely done with it. Now, what I was telling you guys is this. I found it very amazing that me in the medical profession, we were you guys as heroes, right? Before they started pushing out this vaccine, before there was a such thing as a vaccine, We were commercials. Here are our heroes. There were commercials. These are our heroes. They're putting their lives on the line. We were given food incentives. We were getting discounts to health clubs and stuff like that. They just had a lot of things that were given to a lot of healthcare workers like myself because we were out there trying to help people. Now, what I'm saying that for is this. People got upset because there's like, this is just terrible because CNN Plus, these people lost their jobs. They lost their jobs. But this is terrible. Why would you think such a thing? I'm like, well, then y'all were rooting and praising when healthcare workers were losing their jobs. And the distinction I was making was this. Healthcare workers were actually doing something legitimately to save people's lives. The people that barely got a job, come on now. You barely worked 30 days on a job. And that's detrimental. We're talking healthcare workers that were in there 10, 15, 20, 30 years in healthcare, helping people. They lost their jobs. And then the people that end up going along with that whole rhetoric praise that. Well, they should be. Now they're endangering people's lives. They're endangering people's lives. But we weren't endangering people's lives when there was no such thing as a vaccine. But the people that were on CNN Plus, what did they do for anybody? They didn't even get a chance to do anything. We're getting ready to take a call right now, ladies and gentlemen, to address this. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9.
Ty, I got you to put your number out there again, and I'm Joe Long.
Uh-huh. What do you got, Joe?
Well, I don't know exactly. I just kind of tuned in here. I was tuning in because I thought I really enjoyed, and I do enjoy, your reactions to music of my generation. I'm 62 years old.
Oh, okay. Okay, good deal.
So I could be your father.
Yes, you could.
I like a lot the way, you keep your mind open to my generation of songs. Of course, I only watch the ones you react to that I like. For the most part, I enjoy it. But I walked into this, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all these right-wing people posting things, and where's 309? Where are you originating from?
I can't, you kind of breaking up. It sounds weird.
I say, where are you originating from?
Where am I originating?
Yeah, where's your broadcast?
Oh, Central Illinois. You talking about the particular area?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Bloomington Normal region.
Okay, well, I'm Northern California.
Oh, okay.
I'm wine country. So I'm pretty liberal. And, as far as child trafficking and all that stuff, I don't think there's any person other than sick people that are, endorse that kind of behavior. I mean, it's the absolute most disgusting in the book of everything bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on that. But I don't think that the right wing, I think the right wing uses the church to make an argument for abortion, but they don't realize that Jesus said that the mother shall put herself first above the child. And that is in the Bible, and that's not talked about. But
in reference to what?
4 years when they're up for election.
Wait, you said the mother put herself before the child in reference to abortion?
Well, in reference to carrying child, if it becomes between the two, the Lord said the mother should take care of herself.
Right. Are you talking about like if a mother is hemorrhaging real bad or something like that, and they say, hey, it's two choices here. The baby can either live and you die, or... Well,
I don't think the Bible got that specific.
Right, but then you're making it almost like the Bible is specific when it comes to abortion by the mother putting herself before the child.
Well, if you talk about abortion, that interpretation, I think, can fit, right?